What's in the housing bill that just became law? The 21st Century Road to Housing Act, a bipartisan package, became law at midnight on Friday. It's the biggest push for new homes in a generation, yet it's unlikely to slash rent or mortgage prices anytime soon. The bill is nothing like the 1965 act that created HUD and poured billions into affordable housing. Instead, it's a patchwork of small measures, all aimed at speeding up construction so the nation can fill the estimated gap of 1 million to 6 million units. Housing experts across the political spectrum have called for a law like this for a decade. So why won't it make a dent? Mainly because the federal government doesn't control the levers that most affect cost. Cities and states write the zoning rules and building codes that decide what gets built where, while interest rates and macroeconomic forces have the greatest sway over mortgage prices. And housing projects take years to plan and build, while voters want instant relief. The act reached the White House through an unusual route. It passed both chambers by large margins, but President Trump refused to sign it as a protest against a separate voting rights bill that his Senate Republicans failed to pass. He didn't veto it, so the bill became law automatically 10 days after being sent to the president. Laura Foote, the executive director of YIMBY Action, called the legislation a triumph simply because it exists. In California, she and others have spent a decade pushing zoning reforms that make housing more plentiful and affordable. The state has passed dozens of measures that once seemed untouchable, and there are more on the horizon. States like Montana and Arizona have followed suit, slowly turning single-family neighborhoods into denser, taller, and more multi-generational communities. The federal bill builds on these state and local efforts. As affordability struggles that once plagued high-cost coastal states spread across the country, its biggest significance is the bipartisan message that America needs more housing. It shows that, even if the federal role is limited, the country is willing to take a step, albeit incremental, toward a more livable nation. That's it for today. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week for more news you need to know.